Welcome to AtlantaJewishNews.com. I'm Marcy Levinson Brooks, and I am here with Dr. Shula2.mp4, and she is in charge of College for All, which is in Israel, and she's here to tell us a little bit about the program. She's spoken to several people in Atlanta about the program, and she's trying to make a business relationship with not only Atlanta's Jewish community, but other communities, I believe, here in the United States. So Shula, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And tell me a little bit about this College for All program.
The College for All program was established 10 years ago with the mission of narrowing the social gaps existing in Israel through an intensive holistic educational program. We are aiming at talented children that come from both the demographic and geographic periphery, children at risk that come from low socioeconomic status, but have a potential. And it's our obligation and commitment to have them fulfill this potential and to continue to higher education and become contributing citizens to Israeli society.
When you say like an intensive and holistic approach, what exactly does that mean? I know a lot of people have a different idea of what that may or may not mean, like going green. It's kind of like, okay, what does going green actually mean? So the program and its description that you gave, what exactly is in that program?
Okay. The program is a longitudinal program which selects talented children at the end of the second grade and accompany them throughout their elementary and high school until they reach high school diploma. And it's intensive in the sense that the children participate in 4 days, 4 hours each day throughout the year, including vacations and holidays, because the idea is to keep them off the street. And unfortunately, with those children, you need this amount of investment in order to really generate true change. It's a program which has 3 foci. The first one is academic. We are working on improving their grades and getting them a quality high school diploma that will allow access to higher education. The second focus is cultural enrichment, where we try to broaden the horizons and expose these children to culture, art, literature, etc., so they become citizens of the world. And the third focus is on value inculcation, where we try to inculcate values of good citizenship, contributing to the community, giving back to Israeli society, and learning the Jewish and Israeli heritage. So this is a very important component in our program. Basically, we are unique in the sense that we don't only work on improving grades, but also on empowerment and on building self-esteem. We are really providing these children with a chance to have big dreams and with the skills and abilities to implement those dreams when they grow up. And we involve not only the children, but the parents and the community at large. So this is what I mean when I say that it's holistic and integrative. We work with all the community institutions, whether it's the school, whether it's the community organizations, the parents, the municipality, and we are actually embracing the child with this kind of support that allow them to break the cycle of poverty and to embark on a bright future and productive life.
With the 4 hours a day that's mandatory and the other hours that are put into the program, is that the only education that they're getting, or is it mainstreamed into the current schools, or is this the only opportunity? Is this separate from the current school system in which these kids are currently a part of?
The kids go to the current formal school system, and we continuing for a long day right after they finish with the school hours. We operate in the schools themselves. So it's not a replacement, and it's a complementary or supplementary sort of education that they get. we are trying to avoid repeating the school materials, but rather to focus on other topics. We teach them mathematical and analytical thinking. We focus on language skills, learning skills, of course the computers. So we try to prepare them or to equip them with 21st century skills that are so needed in our global world. On the other hand, as separate as we are, we collaborate with the school system. We are in an intimate feedback system with the teachers, with the principals, with the counselors of the school. So we have an individual follow-up on each pupil. We know what his or her strengths and weaknesses are. We know what we need to focus on. We know if there are any crises in the family or any problem that we should pitch in and try to help. So we are separate but collaborative.
Is there a fee? I know that you kind of pick these kids. You had mentioned that in another interview, you had mentioned the kids with the sparkle, that there's a way that you can tell,
Yes.
even in second grade, that the kid deserves more to achieve, that they're going to be, Walt Disney World has an award called the Dreamer and Doer Award.
Yes.
And I was a recipient of the Dreamer and Doer Award when I was in 8th grade. And it was that sparkle that somebody noticed that I had. With these children, is there a fee for them, or is there funding behind it, the philanthropic ventures that you're a part of? How exactly is it funded, and what does it cost the children, if anything, because we're talking about poverty-stricken families?
Yes, so there are two answers. You're asking two things. One is about the selection process of the children with the sparkle. Here we rely on the formal education system, on the teachers and the principals to select the children that they are identifying as having a potential or as talented. And I want to emphasize, not gifted, talented. These are children that the formal education system assumes that they will get along and they will reach high school diploma. But coming from the very harsh backgrounds and families that they come from, actually most of them either drop out or are drawn to crime and to the streets and to drugs and alcohol and all those negative influences in their environment. So the teachers identify them. We put them through our testing methodology. And once we select the ones that have the potential, these are the ones that enroll in our program. So this is how we select them. And so far, this selection process has proven effective because the dropout rate in our program is almost